felt like we were auditioning for a Buffalo Wild Wings commercial. I don't know if y'all saw the commercial where the maintenance guy kind of makes the game go into overtime and all that. It seemed like that. You know, we looked like we were in position to get the win, and then the lights would either, or what, I don't know what was happening, but we kept them in the game. So it just kind of felt like that in those 3 overtimes. But you know, I give credit to McNeese. You know, like always, they're going to play hard, and I thought they did a good job of competing, and we were able to finish it off. Our kids, you know, we had some kids that had some really good games, and you know, like for Simone Fields, I think she needed those extra overtimes. She had been kind of struggling, and so it gave her some positive minutes. I know she scored 1,000 points for the second time in her career, so that's a good thing. But you know, it's a competitive game. We continue to work to get better. You know, I think for us is trying to get more consistent. You know, we just came through practice and had a really good practice and trying to get consistent. On Friday against Auburn, it's going to be tough. I like playing against Auburn because they're going to be so athletic. They play not so much big ball, but they play like with hybrids, and they're going to get up and down and run and stuff. So it's going to cause us some problems that we really need to work on to be able to play against the Troys and the UTAs and some of those teams. So, you know, we're continuing to work on our game and get better. And you know, the good thing about practice today, and I think that's why it was so good, Jasmine Thomas was able to practice, you know, about half of the practice, and you could tell it makes a huge difference in the way the offense and the defense are going to be run. So it'll help Skylar Goodwin. Skylar Goodwin's really stepped up really well for us. I think she's almost averaging 15 points a game, running the point, not at her position, but running the point. So there's some positive things in that. You know, with Simone coming back from her ankle injury, I think that'll help. And if we can get back healthy, I think you'll see a different team. So we can continue to work. And Auburn game is going to be important to kind of a measuring stick to see how we can compete against really good athletes. Questions?
You mentioned getting Jasmine back for half practice today. Where's Troy, and where are you at injury-wise?
I mean, Troy is still with her ankle. You know, it seems like it's getting better, but she's not quite ready. I mean, it's still up in the air. It was diagnosed as a sprained ankle, and now they're saying it's a bone bruise, and then one thing leads to another, and it's just, you know, she's just, you know, she's shooting around. She looks like she's moving better. Actually, I'm in therapy with her, so I guess I get to see her a little bit, and it's just not my call. You know, it's going to be their call whenever she's going to be ready. But as of right now, I'm not sure when that will be. Maybe next week sometime. But I know with Jazz, we're looking at playing Jazz a few minutes against Southeastern and LSU. We're looking at, she may get some minutes then before we get into a conference, which is a positive thing for us. We thought we'd have to wait till conference before we would see her, but and then, you know, Ty Doucette's back from her concussion, so that she had limited minutes the other night, but she'll be able to help us out. So, you know, it's getting a little bit healthier.
Coach, how worried? Obviously, you're going to get players, so there's light at the end of the tunnel, and yet it takes consistency. I mean, how worried are you about through this playing teams like you played Mississippi State in that you're not going to be able to be ready for conference just because you haven't been able to do it because everybody's been hurt and all over the place?
Yeah, it's tough. You know, usually I like what Stevie Peake said. We always had an answer for it. You know, we've been dealing with this since we've been here with injuries and all that, but we always found an answer to it, and we haven't this year. And I think some of it is we're playing a lot better teams. You know, most of our schedule is based on our team, not about anything else, but what we think our team needs to be able to win the conference or the conference tournament is basically how we build our team. And if you looked at our team before we went into the season, Jasmine Thomas was part of that. So we felt that we could compete and really, really get pushed. We needed her to get pushed. So, yeah, I think that's going to be something that we'll have to see, and something that we're preaching at. You know, it's like other people are getting chances to play, but they're not getting consistent, you know, at what we're trying to do. And a lot of our problem is not that these players can't play. We're not playing like we need to play. And I think you're right. If we don't get consistent, it's going to be a long conference season for us. We need to get consistent at what we do. at what we do. And again, it's like a quarterback. You know, if you're rotating 3 and 4 quarterbacks and you can't find them, it's going to be a long season. We need that quarterback. That point guard is for me, I mean, doing it 30 years, that position is probably way more important than any other position, you know. If you got a good point guard and you got people that can play around her and she gets everybody involved. And I think that's why Jasmine Thomas is an all-conference player, is that, you know, she can do that for us. Now, how effective she'll be, because, I mean, she's going to have to get in play-in shape and all that. So you're right, Kev, it's going to be. The good thing about it is Skylar's back. You know, we missed Skylar for a couple of games. She's back, so she can back her up. And then we also can use Skylar at her original positions at the 3. And so now Jasmine has a better player to play with at the 3 than what we're doing now. You know?
Are you worried about the confidence of the young players through this stretch?
You know, I'm worried about the yeah, I am. You know, Skylar's a tough cookie, though. You know, she's the one that I would be more worried about because she's playing the most minutes and all that. And it's tough on her because she's got to do a lot of things that, you know, that's not what she's you know, she was asked to come here to do, and, you know, she's doing them. And some of the other younger ones, you know, the defensive stuff like today that we worked on, yeah, I am. You know, you can tell they get frustrated a little bit, and you know, it's been a fight through. And then, you know, you look at the leadership. Actually, you know, you think about it, it's like, yes, there's inconsistency at the younger kids, but I think it starts with the older kids. You know, I was really excited about having these 4 seniors, and we just need them to step up, you know, and start being a part of what we want to try to do, you know. Nakia Jones is an extremely talented kid, you know, but she can't play like she wants to play. She has to play like we need her to play. And when we start doing that, you'll see some, and yeah, I mean, Kevin, y'all know me, I'm going to figure it out. You know, we'll figure it out. It's just a very simple game to me. You know, we're going to play the people that are going to try to do what we need to do to try to win games. And that's why we're here. And to get better, you know, it's like you said, while we're playing right now, I think it's extremely important that we continue to get better and more consistent. So, and I think that'll happen.
Coach, you mentioned the athleticism of Auburn. Are you going to do anything different defensively on Friday night?
Well, I think for one thing is defensive transition. You know, that's one of our weaknesses right now, and we'll probably send 3 people back instead of you. We usually send 3 people to the boards on the offensive side and then 2 people back. It looks like we may need to go ahead and send 3 people back and try to slow them down a little bit and keep them out of their offensive transition because they're very good at it. You know, and you know, it's like Mississippi State was very good at it. We didn't have an answer because of their size. You know, they utilized their size against us. Auburn's not as big, but they're very, very athletic, you know, and they want to get up and down the floor. So it's going to be a good test for us. I feel confident, though, that, you know, being that we have a lot of people back, that we'll be able to do some things defensively, maybe press a little bit more and slow them down. But it's going to be a tough test. I mean, anytime you play anybody in the SEC, it's always a pretty tough test.
Are the defensive issues them maybe you thought they understood what you asked them from defensively and they really haven't? They don't really know?
Yeah.
So what's the
I think you're right, Kev. You know, it's like if you look at it and you have a shooter in the corner, we don't help off that shooter, and we're doing that right now. And, I mean, you know, sometimes it's just confusion. And, you know, a lot of it is against playing the number 6 team in the country. And no matter what we did, it didn't slow them down and you get frustrated. I think our kids got a little frustrated when they did do it right and they started to go back to what they, you know, our defense is just so different, you know, in how we close out and where we at between we never really play between the goal and the man, you know, and so you're forcing somebody. We really don't guard, we force. You know, it's like you think, well, you really guarded good tonight. No. We try to tell the offense where to go. Now, a lot of coaches in America say you can't do that. Well, I believe we can, you know, and we're not doing that. We're not taking, you know, you're going to have to give up something, and we're giving up the wrong things, you know. And I mean, you got freshmen in there, and you got kids that aren't as defensive minded as some of the other kids that have been playing before, you know, and it makes it tough, you know. Charges are extremely important. We're always last in the league in block shots, but we're probably top 10 in the country in taking charges, and we're struggling doing that, you know, right now. And so when we get back to that, and, you know, you get all your kids, and we're working extremely hard to try to make sure that these younger kids understand it. But I think you're right. Somewhat of our inconsistency is understanding what we're trying to do, and then doing it, you know. To me, the more you do something, the more you believe in it, and the more you see the success, you know. and that's what we need. We need a little bit more success, I guess. And you know, the McNeese game, you saw some really good times where we did guard, and some times where we helped off that we wasn't supposed to. You know, it's hard for the normal fan to notice it, but we're helping out. We do help, but if we're helping off on from the wrong position, it kind of messes up the whole defense.